Okay, welcome everyone to the Tranzmissionz podcast. Basically, on today's episode, myself and my colleague here, you introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nanpyal bedding.
All right, cool. So we are basically going to be talking about the recently released Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Okay. So just to start off, B, how did you find the movie?
It was good. Okay. I enjoyed it. It was a good film. It's not the best superhero movie I've seen, but it was okay to good.
All right, cool. In my case, I also enjoyed the movie. The beginning was a little bit boring, but later on, I think I really enjoyed the movie. I would say that it was my money's worth at the end of the day. All right, so we have a set of questions today. Basically, I'll just be targeting them to B, and I can probably give my views on some of the questions that we have here. So just to start off, the first question that I have here is, does it deserve all the hate it's getting? Does the movie deserve all the hate it's getting?
No, I don't think it deserves all the hate it's getting.
Okay.
It's, like I said earlier on, it's not the greatest superhero movie. It's not the best, but I think people are over-exaggerating in a way, or to a certain extent, because, I mean, even some of the things that people are bringing up are a bit tedious to me.
Okay.
I mean, I heard someone talk about why does Batman use a gun, and why is it that Superman is not bringing the full force of the Man of Steel to a fight. I mean, let's be realistic, right? If you're going to fight a guy who you consider to be beneath you, I mean, there's that scene in the movie where I think the first time they actually meet face to face, and then he tells him something about the bat is dead, bury it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Consider this mercy. I mean, for you to tell someone consider this mercy means that you believe you're in a position of power.
Yeah, exactly.
You have control over that person's life, and you are worth much more than the other person, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So why would you? It's like, if you want to kill a rat, yes, you're not going to go get your shotgun,
bazooka.
or a bazooka. No. I mean, it's a rat. All you're going to do is what? Is step on it.
Yeah, rat poison or something.
Or rat poison.
Something as simple as that.
You know.
No, I get your point. I get your point on that.
I don't think all the hate it's getting is deserved. I think it was an okay movie. It's not your typical superhero movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel has like set a trend where all the superhero movies that they produce are fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it with Avengers, Winter Soldier. There's always comic relief in a Marvel film.
Yeah.
But I think, and I think someone from IGN said it well when they said, BVS, as opposed to being a fanboy friendly adventure film or action film, is more of a drama, more of an intellectual drama, because you have to sit down and you have to think, okay, is there any symbolism in all the things I'm seeing? As in, an example I can give is that part at the beginning where I think it's Thomas Wayne, Bruce's dad, calls out Martha, and then there's emphasis on that part. I mean, he falls down, and then there's that part is highlighted for us. He calls out name Martha, and you're like, okay, so
what's the point?
I mean, to me that's nonsensical. Like,
exactly.
Why would you call out Martha? And who cares?
Exactly.
So I think maybe he was paying homage to some of the scenes in the book, The Dark Knight Returns, but then some of those other things as well, you'd want to you'd have to say, okay, so what really is this irrelevant, or is it relevant? Is it going to play a part Is it going to play a part later on in the film, and so forth? So I think it was a drama with some spears of action here and there.
Okay, all right, cool. I like that breakdown. Next question is, would you like to see Zack Snyder Snyder, to direct Justice League? Would you like to see him come back as a director for Justice League?
I think I would, in that, and okay, this is very biased of me to say this,
Okay.
but because I guess maybe because I'm a tad older, but I think that he has this dark theme, that dark, serious tone that he likes to take with his films.
All right.
And it's kind of a different approach from what Marvel does.
Okay.
I mean, if you see, like, mention a Marvel film and I'm pretty sure I can point out comic relief.
Yeah, exactly.
At it at some point,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
it was
that's true.
I mean, if you look at Thor: The Dark World, which was probably supposed to be a serious dark movie because his mom dies and so forth. It has it has a lot of funny moments even in the middle of a fight.
Exactly.
You have those you have the part where I think Kat Dennings calls out the hammer and calls it Mew Mew or something like that. Fun moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're going to see a Marvel film, it's like a Marvel superhero film. It's like it's supposed to be fun and yay. But with Zack Snyder, is that it's like, even if you saw Man of Steel wasn't like fun. It was a good movie, maybe even a great movie. Yeah. But it was it had this. It introduced Superman as a more authoritative figure.
Yeah, that's true.
He's dark, not necessarily brooding, but he's dark. And he's more. I would say aware of his superness.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I'm Superman. I should be super confident.
Exactly. Yeah.
I should be super smart. Yeah. So I think Zack, for me, introduced Superman as introduced a Superman that I liked.
Okay.
And so I would say even his Batman. I mean, Dawn of Justice. That was for me. That's like the best. I feel like I'm cheating on Christian Bale here, but that was like the best.
Actually, that was the next question I was going to ask. But Affleck, did it work? Did it do a good job?
It did.
He did.
It was excellent. Like when I close my eyes now and I think Batman, I see Ben Affleck's face. So I think that's good.
Oh my dear Lord!
He was excellent. Every scene with Batman in the film was good.
All right, cool. Next question that I have here: was Lex Luthor irritating or was he enjoyable?
I think he was irritating.
He was irritating.
But I think that's a good thing.
Right,
I mean, he's the villain.
Yeah. I
mean, I think we've gotten used a bit to having anti-heroes. And so when we look at our villains, we're like, okay, that's a cool villain.
Exactly. Yeah.
But with Lex, you kind of got irritated. Okay. With him, he was diabolical and he was enjoying it.
Okay, I see.
He was enjoying it. Like he was evil and enjoying it. So I think he was irritable, but it was good.
All right, cool.
It was necessary.
Actually, that's one of the criticisms that the movie got. It's like they were trying so much to have someone like Joker. They didn't have a Joker, so probably the portrayal of Lex in this movie was that of Joker. But I guess. But anyway, I enjoyed the character. It was fun to have a character like the character of Lex being played like that. Someone alluded to something about the fact that the portrayal was based on I think it's the Golden Age. If I haven't, I hope I've got this correct. Golden Age of Superman, where Lex Luthor is this mad scientist, and that's what it was based on, and hence the reason why he was acting out like that. But then I have my own theory, which I'll bring to light later on.
Okay.
I don't want to preempt, so later on. So we'll move on to the next question, which was the movie too dark? Was it too dark? You've already mentioned the fact that the director, Zack, basically brings a dark tone to movies. So I guess we've basically answered that part, I'm sure. So definitely your answer would be that the movie is dark.
It's dark, but I wouldn't say it's too dark.
It's not too. What would you consider too dark?
What would I consider
What example would you give of a movie that's too dark?
Gratuitous violence.
A movie with gratuitous violence. So something like Saw. That's too dark.
That's kind of dark because like, that's mental now. Like,
but that's what Saw is supposed to be. Like it's supposed to be a horror movie. So
yeah, but I mean for the
but
Batman
like
universe,
but like let's say for a movie that's not necessarily supposed to be a horror movie.
I mean, like a superhero movie.
But yeah, maybe a superhero movie or any other but it's dark.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that's what I was talking about. I mentioned the Marvel effect.
Okay, all right.
Because it's like we've gotten used to superhero movies being fun, and it's like I'm going to see things like it's supposed to be like I said, yay. I mean, I'll admit when I was watching Batman v Superman, I actually had a few spazzes.
Okay.
So that was good.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't like yay the whole time.
Okay,
Some moments I was like. And okay, it's a bit sad because I didn't feel any emotional connection to the film. Like it didn't bring about any like feelings. Like when like that scene where Superman is like dies or he says he professes his love to what's her name, to Lois. I didn't feel any like like I didn't connect in any way. I was just like bleh. Let's move on. But I think it wasn't that dark.
All right. Okay. Cool.
It was dark, which is kind of cool because I mean it felt more like a Batman movie.
All right. Okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
All right.
It wasn't that dark, but it was dark enough. I guess.
Right. Cool. Next question. Was the action satisfying?
I'm going to go half-seas on this one.
Okay, all right.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think there's that action scene with Batman going to save Martha. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Best depiction of Batman in a film, I think, action scene. But then there's the Doomsday fight. It's I think maybe that's what happens when you have like two colossal forces colliding. It's like at some point it was incoherent. Like I didn't know what I was looking at. There was light and I was trying to make sense of what was going on. What's going on.
Okay.
So yeah, I think the action it had some really good action scenes.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
But some of them also were lacking.
I see. All right. Was the movie too long?
Good question. Was it too long? I don't think so.
Okay.
In fact, I think
it was too short.
No, it wasn't short. Or maybe I could say it had those certain. I think 3 hours is okay for a film.
Okay. Right.
But maybe it had things that it was missing.
Okay.
That were necessary that we needed to see.
All right, such as because anyway, like I mentioned in the beginning, I really feel sorry for people who are watching the movie who had probably no idea of who the characters were at the beginning, because he had to like set everything up for the other parts of the movie, the middle and the end. And so I really felt sorry for people who didn't understand or who didn't know the characters and stuff. So,
well, yeah, I kind of agree with you in that maybe the assumption is everyone else has seen Man of Steel, so we don't really need to talk. We don't really need to introduce Superman and let you people know where he stands and etc. But with taking that into consideration, I guess maybe it's kind of justifiable why Superman doesn't really get much of. We don't really get to see much of Superman's philosophies towards the Dark Knight. They're mentioned, but not as much. Like we don't really get to see like maybe the root cause or like where he stands like properly. Just they show us parts where he's like, no, this guy shouldn't do this. He's that's he's being a criminal and whatnot. But unlike Batman, who you actually get to, or maybe I'm being biased because of being exposed to previous versions and Batman media, but you kind of get to understand where Batman's coming from, and you get to see and you get to even when he mentions, I think there's some parts where he mentions the fact that Superman is an autonomous superpower. He answers to no one.
Yeah.
And then if and he's not bound by apart from his mom and maybe his kaguza. He's not really he's not really like, you know, like bound to anything on earth. He's not a human being. So at any point, if he decides, okay, you know what, I'm done with these people,
exactly,
then you know, then like all hell breaks loose. So I think Batman was taking into account the fact that, you know, this guy is you know, he's uncontrollable, and he could go off at any moment. So, you know, there's a build up, I think, to the reason why Batman doesn't want Superman around.
All right, cool. All right, we continue. Just a few more questions and we'll be done. Let's see. Did the movie set up the DC universe properly?
Did it set up the DC universe properly? Yes, in a way. Well, I really didn't see much setting up.
Okay.
We got to see like small teasers. My friend calls teaser trailers.
Oh, okay.
You know, you got to see teaser trailers of the Flash.
Oh yes, exactly.
Of Aquaman.
Yeah. So I guess in a way it did set it up. It did set it up nicely.
The DC universe, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Cool. And then I think our last question, we've got other questions, but due to time, we can't go through all of them. The last question basically was, you remember towards the end of the movie, Lex basically mentioned that he's coming. He kept on saying he is coming. Who do you think the he is?
Well, I think it probably is Darkseid.
Okay.
That's because, like, when the New 52 launched, that's when DC launched the New 52 and Justice League comics came out. You notice how the Justice League was formed because of the fact that Darkseid, you know, had come, or rather was coming. So these guys come together and they form the Justice League. So I'm thinking that. Even though, of course, the actual characters who participated in the fight are not the same ones that were being shown in the teaser trailers, but I think that maybe it could be Darkseid.
Okay, all right, cool.
And maybe all those hints that we were getting in the dream sequences that Batman was having, you know, those flying winged thingies, and also that symbol, what's it called?
The Omega symbol.
The Omega symbol.
On the ground.
And also those those tower thingies with flames.
Oh, okay,
yeah. That could also maybe resemble Apocalypse.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe Darkseid.
All right, cool. With you on that, basically, I think the first instance when I was in the cinema, and we got when I was in the cinema, and the first thought that I had was that it's Darkseid, but then later on I changed it, thinking that it was probably Brainiac. And reason, I don't know. Anyway, I was just thinking it was Brainiac, and probably you remember I mentioned earlier on Lex's behavior. Brainiac usually like has mind control and stuff. That was what happened in, I think, one of these books in the New 52. Where he orchestrated some invasion of Earth. But then later on, of course, going online and doing a bit of research and stuff, like you mentioned, the dream sequence that Bats had, basically it seems like everything is pointing towards Darkseid. So I guess it should be Darkseid, although I'm hoping for Brainiac at the end of the day. Okay, I guess we can end it there for today. I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to say before we close.
You mentioned something earlier about Lex Luthor theory that you had.
Okay,
yeah. So please shed more light.
Which one? Which Lex Luthor? The point. No, that's the same one where I was like, his behavior, like the way he's portrayed, like the funny way he was behaving. Yeah, he was acting. Because if you remember, during the speech that he was making, it was a bit incoherent. You remember that time when he was making a speech at his dinner, that dinner function? Yeah. He was acting funny there, so I was thinking probably, I don't know. He's probably anyway. I was basically thinking that it had something to do with Brainiac. So that's the Brainiac theory that I had. But like I said, almost all the evidence is pointing towards dark side. So
it could happen. And I think it's interesting. Remember the part where Lex goes into the ship and then the computer tells him, no, we have archives on so many
and
planets.
that's the other thing as well, how did he know how to do all that stuff? So could it be Brainiac somehow controlling him?
I don't know. So there's I think that would be also interesting. I'm looking forward to. I hear they're supposed to release a thing because an extended version.
Oh, they are. Okay, cool.
With I think they said. I was reading someone.
Is that with the DVD release?
Yeah, the DVD release with I think 30 extra minutes.
Oh, wow!
Of footage.
So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, so I'm also curious. Maybe it might tie up some loose ends.
Exactly. Yeah.
And maybe get more favorable reviews.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So once again, that's all you would like to say, or is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well,
before we close.
Not at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
If I do, then we should probably do a part 2, I think.
All right. Okay. Definitely. We'll definitely do a part 2.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, that
okay.
should be interesting. Yeah.
Cool. So B, thank you very much for joining me on today's podcast. And so thank you very, very, very much for agreeing to be on. Yeah.
Oh no, thanks for having me. for listening to me ramble.
Okay.
And so yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Thank you very much to Miss Walinase Kaira for Candy being in the office overlooking us as we ramble, talk about comic-based movies. Okay, so this has been an episode of the AlienMyndz Alien Transmissions podcast. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for listening. And I wish you a very great day. Peace.
Peace.